guys hear me okay over the sound? Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. How's the sound on my end? Okie dokie. Welcome everybody for a very special live stream. This is some footage where Hazan's let me commentate his EVO Japan footage. This is just a bunch of casuals that were going on at the time, so I figured we just have that playing while we're moving forward. Alright, first up, how's everyone doing today? No response? Alright, then I guess we'll just talk about this match. Hazama is most likely going to be Xiaoyu Julie the entire time. I'm not sure who the Xiaoyu Marduk player is. I didn't get the names of everybody who entered. I think he just took he was just facing like random people most of the time. But it's no worries. We'll just see what we got here. As you know, at this point it's been about a month, so I can spoil it. Hazama won EVO Japan. Good for him. So I guess at EVO in August, it'll be a unification match between my title and his. And being he's the only guy who really caught my fade last year, I better be careful because he might be undisputed by the time all things are done. He's really good. I mean, he was the only guy who even convinced me that entire weekend. That was including Esta and Punk, a bunch of other top names. I mean, Arturo caught my fade. Dominion caught my fade. CD Jr., Coach Steve. It was a pretty impressive list, all things considering. I mean, I was feeling pretty good about myself. It was an amazing weekend. But that being said, I won my my title, so if it doesn't work out this year, it's no worries. I mean, I got my chip, and no one can take that away, so I'm pretty hyped about that. Stuttering a lot right now, so bear with me. Anyway, so last night I was at the final monthly for Xanadu. That is the game center in Baltimore, Maryland, where I learned how to be a real killer in this game. There are a lot of strong players who came from that particular game center over the cross-Tekken years. That includes SRK JKF, who commentated EVO 2013 and was known for his Ken Lilly, and he got top 8 at EVO 2014. There was also Willow 8, who came very close many times to making it to Capcom Cup 2013 in the online qualifiers with his, I think it was Hwarong Julia team? You see, the thing about a Willow 8, he has something called the K-pop factor. And being that there are no Korean girls in this game, other than Jury, and Jury is not really one of his mains, he had to make do with Hwarong and Julia. I think he played Chun-Li as well. He might have been playing Chun-Li. It's been a long time, but he played Chun-Li, he played Julia, he played Hwarong. I think he played Xiaoyu, I forget. But anyway, there's also Rugal. Rugal, yeah. What's up? Anybody here? Yeah, I'm here. More people should be showing up soon. I post on Twitter and Facebook that I'm streaming. But if you can post on the Discord the link one more time, that'd be great to let them know I'm live. But either way, so there was also Rugal. He's the guy who, one of the main heads of Xanadu. He played a lot back in the day, and he beat me a few times in different tournaments. For a while, I thought he was the strongest person in the DMV area in terms of cross Tekken. He played Sagat Jin. There was CFAS Sailor. He played I forgot Salyer or Sailor. Obama. Is Andrew's last name Sailor or Salyer? I can't really look right now. Anyway, he plays Law Abel, and that's a really good team as well. Rai, who actually beat me the week before last EVO in a really hype grand finals for Cross Tekken. was there as well. He moved to that. He used to be from Southern Virginia, the Virginia Beach area, but now he lives in the DMV. So he was there as well. And of course, there were a lot of like big names in other games there who were there yesterday. We had Kane Blue River, who came all the way from where he's from to play Marvel 3 and Dragon Ball, I think. We had Lord Knight, who had a really good showing at the Dragon Ball release party. He was there as well. Some of my friends from Richmond, friends and rivals and enemies. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of drama in my scene, so unfortunately every rivalry's friendly. And if I try to shake hands, just things get messy. So it happens sometimes, though. I just had to accept that for a while, that unfortunately we can't be everybody's friend. People from New York were there. A lot of people from both the upstate and the boroughs were there. I think there's some Delaware guys, but I forget. Either way, it was very bittersweet, and it made me think a lot about where I stand the FGC in the past couple, especially lately. I mean, lately I feel like a dinosaur. I mean, as you know, I love Cross Tekken a great deal, but I think some of you guys might be seeing I'm uploading some other stuff too. Like I uploaded some Marvel Infinite footage, so I was subbing for the normal TO for the Marvel Infinite Rambats on PC. So if I just host a lobby and just stay sharp, so there's something for me to do while I wait for my Marvel PC fix, you know? So I got that done, and Wolfcrone told me about, I think, 2 months ago. It was around Capcom Cup time, when he was on his Block Everybody spree. He told me that, I know what your deal is, you only play games after they're dead, and that's not true at all. My problem is any game I like tends to die quicker than I can enter a tournament for it. Because I do have a full-time job as a board-certified behavior analyst, and that takes a lot of my time. So I was hoping that I would play some Marvel Infinite when I had a chance to go to a major. And unfortunately, that's going to be a little bit hard if I was looking at it for EVO. I'll have to join the side tournament for it, so at least there's something. I'm told that's on. It's going to be on for sure. So I'm hoping things go well. Give it some time, SFXT guy. He'll get there. Yeah, don't count us out. I'm going to be streaming for the next hour and a half. This footage lasts a while. So I was told that by Wolfcrone, and straight up, if every game I liked was as loved as I loved them, I would be so happy. I'm not trying to be like hipster. It's just any game I try to attach myself to, either playstyle wise, aesthetic wise, or both. Just seems to get thrown in the bus with super quick. Even before I was playing Cross Tekken, I mean, I did not like Marvel 3 much after the first 2 months. I think I dropped it for WWE All-Stars. Yes, WWE All-Stars. I dropped Marvel 3 for that. And then Ultimate came out, and I chose to play King of Fighters 13 instead, which clicked with me a little bit more. Partly because the character I was going to go ham with, Nemesis, had no synergy with any of the characters I wanted to play, and all the characters he needed to play as to make things happen, I didn't like playing as at all. So it's I can't do it the way I want, so I'm just going to try something a bit more, a bit different. And King of Fighters 13 offered that. And Cross Tekken obviously clicked with me immediately, more than any game I could think of recent memory. But, so yeah. Just notice things switched off. I have no idea if Hazama is playing, but he probably is. I've seen him play Christie a couple times in our pair play lobbies that Japan hosts every so often. The Japanese pairing wars, I've seen him play Christie sometimes. And I think he mains Ibiki in Street Fighter V, so maybe that's his deal. Either way, I can't really imagine him picking Zhao Yu Lily, both anchor characters, and that's not who he is, unless he's being really disrespectful. But looking at how well this Christie and Ibiki are doing, I'm pretty sure it's him. So it's cool to see some Christie footage. You have some Christie footage in quite some time on my channel. But yeah, it's unfortunate that it seems any game I like just gets met with ridicule. I mean, I posted earlier on Facebook that I'm starting to feel the FGC's not my people, and anime players are starting to like get on my nerves. Not so much that their games are bad. I mean, I know any game at EVO takes legitimately hard work to win at. Because there's going to be like hundreds of people, sometimes thousands, and even if it's dozens. These are people from all over the world playing this game, and you have to prove yourself the best. Number one at everyone, not number two, number three, number one. And that is hard work, no matter what game it is. And I know it takes a lot of hard work to be good at Blaze Blue or Ixer, especially Ixer. That game is so hard to play. Like I see people like saying, "Oh, it's easy." Like, no, it's not. Ixer is not easy to play. There's just so much going on. Lots of high-low mix-ups. Not just like the very edge of the depth of Ixer. There's just so much going on. So, and also because talking to some of the like the arcade guys who play Ixer in Japan, they're usually like pretty chill. They know it's hard work. If you go to any of these games, I have no problem after games themselves. Dragon Ball, right now, Dragon Ball is like too offensive for my taste. There's not too many defensive options at the moment, other than 2H dealing with super dashes. And because push block isn't really much of a push block in this game, it's more like a really weird parry that can be baited really easily. Basically, push guard in Fighter Z at the moment feels a lot like Ryu's parry in Street Fighter V, where you mess it up, you're gonna die, or be close to dying, just be messed up once. So, right, that's how I feel right now. But other than that, yeah, I don't like how any game I might like gets like horribly blasted by the community. Not even like, oh, it's not my thing. Just like straight up, this game's garbage. Like I've had it for Cross Tekken, Marvel Infinite. I think Infinite's more fun to watch and play than Dragon Ball. But I seem to be a very small minority in that regard. Or Damon Bride, or NBA Playgrounds, or WWE All Stars, or what else was I into at the time? Anyway, a long list of games. Or Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. People were playing King Fighters 11 instead back when that was released in America for PS2. They both came around the same time, but one stuck and the other didn't. So that's unfortunate. But I just feel like I don't know. It feels like it's getting harder to find out the communities I want. I mean, yeah, there's Discord, and the Cross Tekken Discord is really nice. They've been very hospitable to me. And I'm glad that not only my efforts being recognized, but also people are being helpful to each other. I wouldn't have won EVO Japan, EVO last summer if not for the guys in the Discord. So anyone watching, thanks for that. But the Marvel Infinite Discord is just like misery and unhappiness. There's like no productive talk whatsoever. They'd rather talk about other games, and if you want to talk about the actual game you signed up for, they just ridicule you. The mod there, Lazy, called me a pretentious fuck, so, thanks, buddy, I'm just trying to learn the game, but you want to be like that? And, yeah, it's weird. And, I do know that not everybody has my tenacity to play all these games, but I can't be, holding the float for, like, 6 different games at this point in my career. I've got other stuff I gotta do. And Cross Tech is still my number 1, and still my favorite game. But if I want to play Dragon Ball, I'll just go to like a Dragon Ball Discord, and talk to people. If I want to play Marvel 3, I'll join Obama's Discord because his seems pretty good. But I'm looking for Infinite. I'm in that Discord. No one's really helpful. I have to go to Jaco Man's personal Discord to really find anything productive. So that's where I stand right now, and also just a lot of drama that kind of like affected my my temperament at the time when I made that long Facebook post that Obama saw. If he's still there, I don't know if he backed out or not. But, yeah, just a lot of stuff going on. Like, last, I think it was late March, early April last year, one of the main anime players in Richmond, or one of the TOs for the Backers, like our big anime local, got into like a really bad feud with me that started, I think, back in like January or so. It started, I think, getting really bad at one of the Virginia Beach locals early that year. And it came to a point where after he lost to me in a Street Fighter V set, he was like really, really rude to me. He wouldn't shake my hand when I tried like in like a pat saying good game, just be a good sport. He threatened me, and when I told him don't be such a baby about it, not long after it became a physical encounter. Thankfully, no one got hurt. I mean, again, I used to work as a teacher in like a juvie type school, so I'm used to kind of that aggression, just handling about nobody getting hurt, but or with nobody getting hurt. I'm sorry, but the fact I had to pretend that I was at work when I'm just trying to relax playing games, it's upsetting, and I was also very upset when I was told not to expect an apology, and I was thinking about going to like another local a couple weeks ago, just play some Infinite, maybe some Dragon Ball, because Dragon was still fresh in my mind at the time. But I was told by one of the artists selling there that I was not welcome because there was a reason that no one came to me or told me about, or texted me after it happened like 6 months before. And even so, nothing was really like horrible, never come back sort of thing. I didn't get in like any fights. I didn't curse anyone out or threaten anybody. It was just apparently I didn't move my setup when asked, but it's not something I really get upset over. I just asked, can I set up here? Can I set up here? And I was always told yes. And if someone came to me, I probably just said, at worst, let me grab my food from next door, and I'll move as soon as I get back. So I didn't really get upset over, but it's unfortunate that it had to come to that point. And that combined with, obviously, Mr. Wiz just flat out lying why no one's playing Marvel. Because people were, before that announcement, it was still getting like number 3, number 4 was entries on the regular. It was still like outdrawing like Injustice and BlazBlue, like combined many, many majors up until that announcement. And then Markman came and fact-checked Wiz on Twitter, even though Mark was like literally sitting right next to Mr. Wiz during the games reveal. And it was very upsetting to see someone who's as important the FGC as Mr. Wiz, in terms of like running tournaments, be that condescending when the landscape is changing so much. It's not just about games, it's about eSports now, which is both good and bad. I mean, it's good because more people are playing, and now there's more prestige. It's easier to find matches than ever before. But at the same time, I feel like FGC by nature is kind of a subculture all its own, good and bad. And for esports to like really be viable, things are going to have to change, and Japan's already changing it. Because Japan, as a government, the Japanese government really allow like giant majors like EVO or Final Round just by nature of gambling laws and what's considered like a sport, what's considered like a gambling sort of thing. So what Ono did, well, I'm told Ono's like the big proponents. I think probably Ono and Harada, probably like a council with Ono included in it, made it so the top players can get licensed, because if there's like actual licensed people involved, like real professionals, it transforms from a game of chance to a game of skill. Is the explanation that that Ono gave when he announced the licensing of top players now in Japan. But at the same time, it was done in a way so that casuals, the non-spawn people, can still play. So I guess it would be looked as like an open, I guess it would be. I'm trying to get a good analogy for it, because I've seen like basketball tournaments have that, where it's like line professionals, but it's open to the public, or strong or tough man competitions, I guess. So that I'm trying to understand. Like, I don't know like the laws that well, but that'd be my guess of like what the loophole they found is, because now basically that means that Japan can have like more EVO Japans. They can have final rounds and combo breakers and similar majors of that scope, which is good, because I was looking at the side tournaments for EVO Japan. Of course, there was Cross Tekken, as you see here, but there was also Damon Bry as a side tournament. Now, that is probably my all-time favorite non-Japanese, sorry, or non-IP anime fighting game. I mean, obviously Japanese, but Damon Bride was there, and I was really excited because that game is amazing to me. But it has no home port. It has no online play. I have to like find a really I had to dig really hard to find a working ROM port to play my laptop. It took many years for it to come out with the Nesca Live leak. And I'm very sad that it's not come stateside after all this time. Maybe it will one day. I mean, but it's been a while. The game's about 10 years old now. But it's cool to see Japan come out for the games they have. And I wanted to talk about also tying into what I just said about Japan and our FGC is I noticed that a lot of spectators put the Japanese players on pedestals. Having done my homework against the Japanese players, nice raw launch. Having done my homework against the Japanese players in this game, Esta, Hazama, Tamusin, Asusa 555, Kagra, I think it was Kagra. Anyway, the Japanese Pairing Wars players, and having done what I did at EVO, when I realized just what was missing from my my gameplay to make myself able to defeat players of that caliber, that's not something inherently Japanese about it. I think that the difference maker typically between a Japanese top player and American top player is the mentality that... I'm trying to describe it. So, you notice that the American FGC complains a lot about characters and matchups. Like, apparently, Abigail in Street Fighter V AE is OP right now, but having played as and against Abigail, there's nothing I would say is as clearly good as Balrog or even Lara in Season 2, Season 2.0. I wouldn't say he's anywhere good as those two. So I don't understand why he's suddenly this game's horrible type character. Now, as a guy who's playing Imp for a while, I do know that Vanilla Dante was really good. He was basically like 5.0 Steve in Tekken 5 good. Oh boy. Oh no. I'm trying to figure out who this player is. This actually might not be Hazama. It might be though. Like I didn't watch much of the Christie match I was talking about stuff, but maybe Hazama was the Lily Xiaoyu player. But anyway, whenever I follow a Japanese player on Twitter, I very, very rarely see them like openly say this character is bad, this matchup is terrible, or unwinnable, or complain about input lag that anyone's got to deal with. I mean, at that point, make excuses because everyone has to hold that input lag too. And being that it's all I've known, you can't really remove the input lag because then the whole game changes. And all your combos become different. And also, because it's cross-play, the input lag between systems is going to be... you need like a happy medium. And being that everyone's got to hold that input lag, I'm not really bothered one way or another. So I'm actually kind of surprised that people still go on about that. I know you're listening, Obama. But that's how I feel. It's just it doesn't feel awkward to me. It just feels like this is what the game is. So you just go in from there and make your adjustments. So anyway, Japanese players typically they accept things are not in character's favor, but what they'll do is they'll try to work around it by walking through the matchup. See, okay, so this is bad. So what can I do to overcome it if I was playing this character against this character? And that's actually how I managed to overcome Esta's Law, because I've been playing a number of really good laws building up to that EVO. Like like Kev Smith 302, the Cole player, the Pandora guy. His law really helped out to not be suicidal facing law at least too much. And Elena, I just studied the matchup very carefully. Like, I knew I'd run Elena at least once. And I do know she was very good. And thankfully, the month before, Ski Sonic played me with his Elena, and that helped me get ready. So, I just walked myself... Because Law versus Bison is really bad for Bison. Actually, most of the top tiers, particularly the top 3. Huarong is really bad for Bison. Law is really bad for Bison. Chun-Li is really bad for Bison. And Chun is actually bad for both Bison and Heihachi. So I was very fortunate to have done as well as I did against them. Because I walked through the matchup saying, okay, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. What can I do to make this situation happen? I don't believe in unwilling matchup in this game. Or Street Fighter V. Or any game at this point. I mean, games are just too refined now to really have, like, unwinnable matchups. You can have matchups not in your favor. But, that's why I don't believe in, like, people claim they're low-tier heroes. It's why I think that mentality's toxic, and who has that mentality is just being a quitter. You just gotta figure it out, like, okay, here's what's bad, and what can I do what can I do instead to, like, make this happen? And that's what I had to do, because I believe I wasn't going to counterpick against a player like Esta, because Esta's just too good for that. And I had to say, this is my team, this is my character, I had to respect it. Alright. By the way, this Lily Zhao is actually really good. So, that Christy Ibuki actually might have been Hazan. Maybe, this one guy is, just as good as he is. So there's some good stuff going on. So what I'm going to do is, as I commentate all these things, I intend to do more of them, because Hazan has a bunch of videos. He's like, commentate as many as I want. So I'll commentate the round robin he did, the other matches there, and then probably put names to faces, I guess. So let's see what else we got here. What do we got here? I'm going to text the Discord real quick. Can't really open up my browser right now. What time is it? A lot of really unsafe cross rushes on block going on here. So we gotta tone that down. Whoever this Lei Yoshimitsu player is. I think Hazama did play Lily at one point. Because we did a lot of casual sets on EVO Sunday after I lost that first of 10. And he did play a bunch of other teams. He won most of them anyway. Again, I think he was like he had the winning mentality and I didn't that day. It happens. But I'm just watching this thing carefully. I can tell the Lei Yoshi player is very rusty. Like, Lily and Xiaoyu are having combos that this other guy doesn't. The only difference, though, I think Lei Yoshimitsu took it. So good job for Lei Yoshimitsu for just using solid fundamentals to bridge the gap. It's also why, well, combos are important. I don't try styling on people too much because I want to risk a life lead for the sake of a hard combo because my execution didn't fall through under pressure. See, that's why, again, all fighting games are hard, even the easy ones, because of the pressure. It's hard to do these combos, even the baby ones, under high-pressure situations, because the other guy is pressuring you and using his or her own mentality to make it so that you create mistakes. And how you react to those mistakes you make is what determines whether you can win or lose. It's not all about execution. You have to stay calm, you need proper nerves. And a lot of players that talk about watching a movie for combos and stuff like that aren't thinking that way. And it's like that in other competitive sports too. For example, there are some guys who can like dunk a basketball in like inhuman ways, but they can't pass the ball, they can't play defense. Their shooting's not great. They're just dunk specialists. And ultimately, they're not valued as game changers because they don't have what they need to win. They need to make a show. They don't have what they need to win. So you also need great neutral. And over the course of the past year or so, I'm trying to focus more on my neutral and less on my flashiness. Because sometimes me being flashy, especially yesterday, when I was playing casual and cross Tekken with other players like Shinoni and Rick Wah, and that one Blanca Marduk who I've run into many times over the years, whose name I keep forgetting, I haven't seen in a while. I think it's something Death. No, it's not After Death. Anyway, I probably recognize his name if I saw it, but he would just like be with like straight fundamentals, even though there's some rust on like his combos. But to make a difference, he just beat me fundamentally a few times. I had to change my tune because I was just getting blown up. Not so much like getting like upset. But I won most of the matches, but I had to be more careful and play a team that was more normals and spacing and neutral oriented than the ones what I had been doing because he was punishing me and I was trying to be fancy and trying to be a show off. So it's a mentality thing where, like I said, neutral is the most important aspect of any fighting game. How well you can stay calm under pressure, how well you can recover if you are put on pressure, and how well you can apply pressure to the opponent. It's a component of all these things, not just about the best combos, the best damage, because you can drop those combos, and in a lot of situations, a drop combo, especially in this game, can result in really bad things. Because those combo enders are typically unsafe. Ooh. Oh, that would have been nice if she got a full combo off that. She definitely could have, though. Alright, Lei Yoshimitsu's about to hang in there. I think never mind. That was a good poke from the Lily player, and good stuff. Which is why I've said many times that I feel like Hazama, especially this is around like EVO 2016 that came to conclusion. I feel like Hazama, in that respect, has a slight edge over Esta, because his fundamentals are typically consistent throughout, which is why it's such a hard opponent to face, especially with the team he plays. Because Julia has amazing pokes and some good setups and combos on her own, and Xiaoyu has a lot of great Oki and can track knockdowns incredibly well and mix people up as they wake up with many different attacks, which makes all the more pressuring if Julia knocks you down because she deals great damage already, so you're already bleeding. And I feel he keeps his cool a bit better than Esta sometimes. I've heard Esta... I've seen Esta drop many combos, but to be fair, he also plays like multiple characters in these 2-on-2 games. About a month or so ago, there was a Infinite tournament in Osaka, and he was just styling on people with like a random select. he was playing Ghost Rider, X, Gamora, Ultron, Sigma, bunch of different characters throughout the tournament. I think he got second because he landed on a team that was not quite as good as the other teams he picked, and I guess he got overconfident because it was I think it was coming from losers because it was over 3-0, or it might have been a single limb. Either way, they would have gotten his favor, but having played Esta, when Esta is focused and he is playing fundamentally solid, he is very hard to beat. I think a lot, but because he plays for fun as well, because he loves Cross Tekken, and he seemed to feel the way about Infinite as well. But I've been talking to him more on Twitter DMs lately. Him and I'm talking to them both a lot more often, and because I respect them like a lot, I figured, hey, might as well talk to them a bit more, or just like once a year and stuff like that. I want to pick their brains a bit as a fellow competitor. Now that I've finally reached a point where I can be considered their peer, if I wasn't already. So, I'm talking more a little bit about the mentality bit and what's in between American mentality and Japanese mentality. Again, it's not like inherent to Japanese people or American people. Anyone can adapt to mentality. But I was telling about me and Izama were talking about the Capcom Cup finals for last December for Street Fighter V. And I mentioned what the commentator is going on about with, I think it was Nemo and Itazan, where Nemo went for like the handshake, Itazan took a while to shake it. So I know the commentators make a huge deal about drama or salty handshake and whatnot. So I told Hazama, here's what the American commentators are saying. What are you guys saying? And Zama told me, I said, whatever drama there is non-existent because I've seen them hang out. I've seen them hang out many times together in different tournaments I've been at. So if there's tension, I haven't heard of any because they're always like together and they're always laughing and drinking together and stuff. I told them the same thing. I told Kazan I've seen them at the gambling tables in Vegas sometimes, like hanging out together, just playing cards or whatnot. So, I think the issue is American players like to create like WWE-type storylines, but most times other competitors look at that as immature because not everything has to be a big drama story in the field of competition, especially in something like this. I mean, WWE does because it's more like it's theater as well as an athletic event. So you have to add a little bit of drama because that's what it entails. It's sports entertainment. But for eSports, which is... I already had a discussion about like what's a sport, what isn't a sport. I will say it's a competition. I'm not going to debate that. Esports is definitely competition. And competitive nature is universal across all competitors for the most part, especially good ones, the really good ones. It's very rare you'll see on social media, like, real athletes, like the NBA guys, the NFL guys, and whatnot, openly attack a player's work ethic and drive because they respect how hard it is to get to the NBA or the NFL or the MLB or the NHL. They know it's a journey, and they know if you're there and you're making stuff happen for as long as you have, then you must have gotten there for a reason, a good reason, because there are no frauds in the NBA or the NFL. Because even like the 12th man on the bench in the NBA, if he has the green light, he could probably light people up on the court if he was allowed to. But it's a team game, so everyone has to play their part, and that 12th man's part is just be ready when available. I mean, look at Jimmer Fredette. Jimmer didn't really do much in the NBA, but in college he was a beast. And when he went to China to get the chance he needed to show that he could do what needed to be done to be the man on his team, he did so. He was scoring like 40 points a game in the regular for a while. I mean, he was breaking records. It was just like he was back in college. Because the talent pool was not quite as intense as it was before. And once he realized what he had to do and was given the chance to do so, he just thrived in an amazing way. So, and among athletes, they know They know it's hard work. They know it takes hard work to play at a high level, or even to be in the league. And there's a mutual respect for that because real recognizes real. And I feel in the FGC there's not enough of that. And I will admit, first up, I mean, I have one of my closest friends, Wes, told me to cheer me up for like a Street Fighter 5 I was worried about a year or so ago. My opponent was someone from their area. He said, "Oh, he's an anime player. He gets an easy win." I didn't say anything because he's my friend. I'm not gonna. I know he's trying to cheer me. I'm not gonna attack him for it. But like I said, it takes hard work to go to any of these games this day and age. There's no thing to free win because the other guy wants to win as bad as you do. And most humans are going to adapt, especially at a high level. They're going to adapt in ways the AI doesn't, unless the AI has a bug where they'll do something in reaction to a button you press just by nature of how it was programmed. Basically, the reason why it's close to impossible to beat Super Turbo on hardest difficulty in 3.3 credits or less, just the way the AI is built, especially after the third one, the third match. But a lot of people don't respect that. I mean, if I'm in a Dragon Ball FighterZ match, there's a lot of weird stuff in that game. A lot of characters have very, very, very similar combo paths if you're mid-screen and you don't have an assist to work with, or you don't have the right assist to work with. Very similar combo paths, especially trying to save meter. But I also know that it's hard work to win that game because the other guy wants to win as bad as you do. And you just have to study and do the homework necessary to overcome their need to win and make sure that your need to win a little bit stronger because you did the homework, you did the studying. Just like I did with Cross Tekken leading into EVO last year. I was playing like pretty much every week, consistently, going to tournaments, doing like, just basically having a setup anywhere I went in case there was a challenge that I didn't see coming. Like, when I was in the Virginia Beach throwback tournament, I think it was March or April, and I won the Cross Tekken side event there. That wasn't easy, that was hard. Rai is a very strong player. Winback's a very strong player. And I can tell by the way they played that they had done some level of training leading up to that point. Everyone there did, for the most part. But thankfully I did the homework I needed, and I had the fundamentals I needed to not let them do what they wanted. I mean, you've seen me play Guile Paul. I learned that from Winback, who was playing Guile Paul, and showed me some stuff that I wouldn't even have thought of otherwise. And Winback doesn't like play online. He doesn't play in the Discord. He doesn't join tournaments for the most part. He's just playing because it was fun. But from a player I didn't know played that much. I mean, I've known him for a long time. He's a great player in many, many, many different games. I didn't know he was playing Cross Tekken that way. And he actually showed me some stuff that I integrated in casuals in the EVO that summer that other people hadn't seen or were getting blown up by really bad. So you never know where you're going to find that challenge. And that's what I did, like, ooh, that is tricky. I like that. Or I'm starting to think the Xiaoyu Lily is Hazama. Because that's something only Hazama would know how to do. Where he rolled over the low slap you sillies and kicked him up in the air. That's something only Hazama would do. Because he puts that much work into his team. So now I'm convinced that Hazama is the Xiaoyu Lily player. I'm convinced now. But yeah. So you never knew we were going to find that challenge. So for Dragon Ball, I know it's going to be hard work to win. And if I feel the need to overcome that matchup, I'll do the homework and hopefully run it back next time. It's not a barrier. It's not going to always be bad. It depends on how much work I'm going to put in to win. So, like, in any games like that. So I'm very sad that you're looked at as a shill or fraudulent or whatnot if you like Marvel Infinite. I mean, I love Infinite. You've seen me upload stuff lately, and because I like it and I want to keep playing it, I'm not done playing it. I'm having fun with it. I was looking forward to seeing it on the main stage at EVO, and unfortunately it didn't happen. But it is what it is. So I'll try to join it at EVO, the side tournament. Hopefully they'll announce it in a reasonable time so I can plan ahead and let people know ahead of time when the Cross Tekken side tournament is. so I can plan around it so I can do both. And maybe do some other side tournaments too. Like last year, I just focused on just cross country, so I wanted no distractions. But now I've won first place, and again, I'll do my best. Obviously, I'm a competitor. I'm not gonna half-ass anything I do. But I'll see what happens. I do want to play some other stuff as well. Again, cross country is my all-time favorite game. I will love this game forever. I still love playing it. Playing it yesterday was amazing. I had a great time. This game is perfection to me. Because some games are offense heavy and defense heavy. This game you can play pretty much any way you want, and with the right team setup, you can do whatever you want, be effective. You want to play offensive, go for it. You want to play lane, go for it. You want to be a defensive fortress, go for it. You want to zone a bit, go for it. There's a lot of ways you can play this game, and thanks to the default gen in particular, you can enhance that particular play style to help your style more. Now, when Esta plays this game, he always has a defense setup because he wants to make sure he has enough chances to turn things around in case something bad happens. And that can be difficult to overcome, especially because he's a guy who adapts very well. Even his execution isn't that great, which is why I've been focusing a lot more on my neutral and my nerves, because before that would be an issue sometimes. But it's not near much issue anymore. Though to be fair, it's because I've been in so many high situations at my job, working as a special ed teacher who's been threatened with a gun, or dealt with riots, or the crack cocaine incident, or being shoved through a door, or stabbed in the face, or whatnot. I'm just used to stress at this point. So something like a fighting game tournament is like really low on my stress threshold compared to before. Although I will admit that when I went up on Esta in that final game, that final set, I did feel like a chill go down my spine. So I think I was sensing, oh god, it's happening. But it lasted about 3 seconds. I shrugged it off and stayed focused. And thankfully, you guys remember where I hit Azama with the Heihachi overhead target combo, when before I was just doing all lows. I spent like all set trying to condition him to duck back because he wasn't like DPing or anything like that. And thankfully, it worked out. So, and that's where I felt the momentum shift, and I just stayed focused, so I didn't drop it. I just did something simple like a throw, and then I figured he didn't have the meter to EXDP, so he was going to trade either way. But no matter what happened, I felt like if he blocked, I could potentially chip him out. And I don't think he could do the punish for EX right as he blocked it. But instead, he just ate the whole thing because I timed it just right, so he couldn't react to it properly. Because again, he didn't have the mirror to tag DP or EX DP. So I said this is a worthwhile risk. Let's go for it, and it just worked out in the best way. So mentality and nerves are very important. So again, I find it very disheartening where if someone does well in another game, and I've seen this before too in the FGC, especially on social media, it means the game is bad, or there's always an excuse why their favorite player lost to this guy who's usually known for another game, like Punko. I've shown people the salty Punko picture a bunch of times. It's funny. I mean, Punko's a great player, and it felt great to do as well as I did against him. But Esta took this beautiful snapshot of Punko when he was playing me in the lobby at EVO last year. Very sour look. Punko was taking his jacket off. He was shoving tables. All those little ticks he does to, like, quote unquote adjust himself and change momentum. Like he take his. Think we can take his shirt off. It didn't get that far. He didn't take his jacket off though, so I guess I'll consider that a victory that I got that out of him. And I still held my own anyway. But he took me. I'll up a little bit later so I can find it, and figure out how to make the picture show. But anyway, Punko got hated on really bad now 2 years ago. EVO 2016, when he was doing real well with Akuma in Tekken 7 that year at EVO. And many people like you saying the character's broken, it's an unfamiliar matchup. Now, before I was Street Fighter was always my first love, but during that gap between CVS 2 and Street Fighter 4, I had pretty much given up on Street Fighter 4 ever coming out because Capcom Fighting Gym was complete garbage. I cannot believe that this game has more love than Cross Tekken because Fighting Gym is complete trash. And the reason I think BlazBlue Cross Tag is not appealing because it looks just like Capcom Fighting Gym, only with BlazBlue characters and Unib characters. Now I love Unib. I'm definitely get Unist on Steam. That's probably my favorite. My second favorite non-IP anime fighting game. But I'm not gonna play a game that looks like Mugen. So I'm lukewarm on that. But anyway, I was a Tekken guy in between CBS 2 and Street Fighter 4. And I looked on Tekken Zaibatsu like every day for combo videos and ghosts when I got Tekken DR for PSP. I used to take the bus to the Huntington Mall to play Tekken 5 Resurrection because I didn't have my PS2 my freshman year of college, and I heard Tekken 5 DR was there before it came out on PSP. So like, all right, I got like the new hotness in the arcades. So I went there. I took the bus like every month or so to play it. There's a lot of cool stuff in that game. I was really excited to play it, and I studied the matches and the patches carefully. Even like in Tekken 5.0 and 5.1, I remember hearing about Jin Master Steve and how ridiculously good he was, and I always knew Steve. Like I love 5.0 it was fun, but like looking back, I can see why it's considered broken. But that's Steve was amazing. Nina was amazing. But I think the dominance that Jim Master in particular showed with Steve and Nina probably prompted Namco to create the patches that they do now, where a character is like so unfairly good that the whole game just shifts and you might get banned characters. When you are that good of a character that the company attempts to weaken that character based on your mastery of him or her, to me that is like an unofficial tournament win. I think Jim Master actually did win a tournament several times with Steve and Nina, but regardless, I can look later. It's been a long time since I looked at the results, but I do know he was definitely a force with Steve and Nina. Of course, there are other players who did well with Steve as well, so that might have been more a factor too. Regardless, if you are playing so well with a character that the company that makes the game patches the game just because of you, you should patch on the back for that. Basically, you are now a crownless king. You are so good with your character that the game changes because of you. And I'm certain that's what Punko dominance at EVO did. Because I don't remember a lot of... So he was like the only guy back then really playing Akuma at that high level. I think. Hey, Salt, I'm talking about fighting game mentality while we watch some footage from EVO. So so I thought earlier that this Xiaoyu Lily was Hazama, but I'm looking who the other team is, and I might be wrong about that. I think Hazama just found like a fellow Xiaoyu player who's just as good as he is, because this Xiaoyu Lily was doing like some really freaky oaky stuff, unlike Yoshimitsu's EX low slap you sillies, the leg hurricane. I'd never seen it before, so I thought it was pretty hype. But anyway, I was talking about Punko in Tekken 7, and how his Akuma was just so good. And even people I respected in the FGC were complaining about him doing as well as he was, and making excuses. But the reality is, if you're a good player, you can adapt and find that potential in any game. So I'm not upset that Sonic Fox did as well as he did with Fong in Street Fighter V Season 1. He unlocked the keys, and Fong got weaker because of him, pretty much. At least I feel that way. Because he was just, like, messing with people so badly. Or Sonic Fox doing well in Marvel Infinite. He'll probably do well in Dragon Ball as well. He's just one of those players. He's hit a new gear. Now he just understands fighting games on a universal level. And people want to hate on him and Punko and whatnot. Because they're winning, but they're not like an established name. Which is why the mentality that, oh, he's just an anime player, he sucks at Street Fighter. I don't think one has anything to do with the other. If he sucks Street Fighter, he sucks Street Fighter. Nothing to do with where he comes from. Basically, if you're good, you're good. If you're not, you're not. It just depends what game you're playing. You put the work in any game, you can be good at it. So, I feel that mentality needs to go away as well. Don't make excuses if someone does well with a character. Because it takes, even, especially a high level, even characters like really good, like Akuma in Tekken 7 FR. And I will admit he was like absurdly strong, but he wasn't game-breaking strong because no one else was really like doing much with him. He was just Pumko put in the work and he discovered very quick what his good stuff is. And that's a really good skill too. If you can find the broken stuff quickly, when you're picking a game up, then that's a good talent as well. You want to find the most abusable stuff sometimes. Because, if you can find someone who can't react to it, you can just, like, dominate the match with it and just drown them until you can get them to do what you want to do because they can't react to, your openings. Man, if this is, Hazama's getting rocked. Let's see what time we got. I've been streaming about an hour, so about 30 minutes left this video. And then I'll wrap this up and I'll upload it to YouTube. But, Salt, do you got a, FGC question you want to ask me? I know, you play really deep as well in Street Fighter and whatnot. Do you have, like, mentality question you want to ask me? Because, again, my current study is something called solution-focused mentality. I'm focusing on what it takes to improve yourself in any stressful field, whether it be sports, eSports, high-stress jobs, like when I worked as a special ed teacher at a juvie-type school. It's an official title, but a lot of the kids there were either former juvie kids or kids who were on their way to it if things didn't change, or kids with record arrests and whatnot. So, a very nasty situation overall. It's a high situation to help these kids, but anyway, I want to make a power presentation. I've shown you the outline, I think. I've been talking to other people, like, I showed you, that tweet of me having lunch with that professional wrestler in Holland, the one I played Tekken with. He's playing, Dragon Ball right now, because I told him if you can sway and deficit Paul in that game, you can, do anything you want in Dragon Ball, pretty much. That's gonna be too hard for you. So now he's playing that. He's doing well, he told me. Like, he's winning a lot of his ranked matches. So this is gonna be his first 2D game, because the execution's really is too hard for him otherwise, is what he told me. And I've also been talking to a high school acquaintance of mine who I caught up with, who's a former EuroLeague Final Four MVP, professional athlete pretty much. So I'm taking all that with my own experience as a competitor, making a mentality so that you can be the best player you can be and not fall into like an excuse-based mindset, which a lot of FGC players do. And like I said, my hang-up just now was players who say because he's a so-and-so player, he's not a good this player, and the game must be bad because of he's winning in that. And I was saying, if you're free, you're free, and if you're not, you're not. It takes hard work to be good at these games. It's why I don't think that Street Fighter V is easy or flawed, because all the complaints I see, other than server issues, and again, there's a reason for that. People are saying they can fix a patch anytime they want. Yeah, they can, but at the same time, it's cross-play. So once that comes into play, things are a little bit dicey, but that's not what I want to get. I want to say a lot of complaints about the game being bad or a set player or whatnot. It's just like a whiner stuff. You do what it takes to win. And Street Fighter V is a game where you can win in a variety of ways. Not quite as many varieties as Cross Tekken, mind you, but there are still different playstyles and different mentalities at work. And a lot of times you have to adjust on the fly and create that opening in ways that wouldn't be available otherwise. Because if you try to be pensive with some character, it doesn't work out so well, and vice versa, try to be aggressive with character, doesn't work out so well. So you have to find that balance. And a lot of the complaints about Street Fighter V's balance or lack thereof, I find is kind of fraudulent, you know? Like how apparently Abigail's like now worse than Season 2 Balrog. Anyone who plays Season 2 knows that's nonsense. Like Laura was pretty nonsense in Season 2.0. Balrog was, Urien definitely was. I don't think Urien needed to be changed much at all from Season 1. He was already really good. But, yeah. So I find it really disheartening that it's a quote-unquote bad game, when I think PR5 is probably my favorite mainline Street Fighter of all time right now. I mean, maybe it'll change as the AE develops. Right now, I'm loving this game more than I did 4 in, like, any of its iterations. 3 is fun, too. But it's just such an odd game as, like, just a pure Street Fighter type game. And Super Turbo, like, it's Street... Third Strike and Super Turbo are Street Fighter in the series, but, just by nature of, their overall mechanics, they're their own games that exist their own little continuity. Super Turbo at a high level is completely ridiculous most of the time. There's very little Street Fighter 4 or 5 type fundamentals in Super Turbo or Third Strike. But Street Fighter 4 and 5 harken back basically like hyper fighting era Street Fighter 2, pretty much. So Street Fighter 2 Turbo, I feel, it's a good analogy for 4 and 5. But yeah, but my problem is the loser's mentality is getting really, really overwhelming on social media right now. And I don't like where things are going with that. That's just my opinion, though. Maybe because I'm a grown-up and I have and a competitor, and being that I've tasted my goals in multiple facets, whether it be as a career or as a player or at the gym or whatnot. I've done a lot of great stuff over the years because I have a really solution-focused mentality, and I'm too stubborn to quit anything I set my mind to because other people tell me to. I'm a guy who lives with a chip on my shoulder every single day because I'm so used to people saying you can't do that because you're not good enough, and I just say, oh yeah, and I prove them wrong, and then there's drama. So it's unfortunate that that mentality is being more prevalent in the FGC, especially on social media. What are your thoughts on that, Salt, if you're still watching? I hope my mic is still working. I see my voice coming through, but it seems like I don't really respond in the chat. Maybe I'm just too boring. Hopefully someone responds to me soon just to confirm that they can hear what I'm saying. So I didn't just like talk for like the last like hour and 15 minutes and like no one heard me. Looks like Hazama's finding his groove again. Man, this I thought this Lily Xiaoyu was Hazama. Looks like he just found a rival. Like this girl, this Xiaoyu Lily player is really, really good. This guy, I should say. I said girl because of two girls. All girls on the screen right now. Got smoothie here too. Ooh, that was lucky. Good backdash from the blue Xiaoyu. Excellent, thank you. How you doing, Ryoko? Yeah, no worries, no worries. So yeah, I was saying, this Lily Xiaoyu is really good. I spent most of this, these sets, talking about just like the mentality bit. Oh yeah, no worries, no worries. But yeah, I've been talking about I'm trying to improve mentality, especially as fighting games move towards esports. If you're going to be doing esports at this high level, you have to have like a different mentality, just towards a competition in general. Because if you act like a sore loser or sore winner on social media, it's going to damage your brand, and then you lose your sponsorships. So hopefully things improve. Because right now, you even saw L.I. Joe talk about like FGC Twitter is like being really bad right now. Is what he said. Made a tweet about it. Man, I can probably I'd put it up now, but it's kind of hard for me to get a window up. So let me see if I can hold on just a moment. I'm gonna see if I can put some pictures up so I can have something to talk about real quick. I'm trying to put a picture up real quick. I did promise the Salty Punko face, those who haven't seen it yet. So at least I can find it real quick. Copy, screen capture, media fire, images. Okay. I'm going to pray that what I'm about to do does not completely overwrite the video. So wish me luck, guys. Textures, where is it? Do I not have Salty on? Let's go to OneDrive, maybe. Okie doke, I'm gonna have to find it real quick. Just a moment, guys. Well, I'm gonna go on my phone and upload and send it to myself, and that's how I'll do it. And once I do that, maybe I can put up on here. Come on, let's see what we got. Looking for it. Hold on a second. See if I can open up a new window. This match has about... This set has about, probably about 10 minutes left. So you can get it up before it all goes away. Open new window. Photos. Your photos. Here we go. Okie dokie. Got that one. Let's add images. Alright, hopefully this will not make like really sad Punko blow up over everything. So I hope I can get this right. Documents, I think. Here we go. Here's Salty Punko real quick, guys. This is a picture Esta took when I think it was like 8-0 or 9-1 or 9-0. So I think he tore his shirt off at 8 or 9-0, and then tore his jacket off, I should say, and then he got a win. So it was 9-1, and then it was 10-1 after that. So I just ran it right back on him. So yeah, nice little money shot right there of me playing Punko. Let me move this. There we go. But yeah, I'm gonna look for the Li Joe tweet real quick as well before time expires, cause being it's about 5:33 right now, I started around 4:15. We have about 20 minutes left of this video, but I want to talk about that before we close things out. Here we go. I'm gonna blow this. I'll make this like really big for us. How can I make this zoom? There we go. Alright, so I want to talk about the tweet Li Joe sent out. The drama at FGC about people attacking other scenes is getting so out of control that Li Joe had to step in. And this is why I feel like the FGC is kind of passing me by. Not just because like every game that I want to go ham on is met with ridicule every single time, other than Street Fighter V, which also be met with ridicule. At least people are still playing because there's still some money involved. But I was saying earlier that I think I'm like 0 for 6 in games I want to play, like competitively, that die immediately before I can like really go in and like improve myself and get to that high level. So obviously Cross Tekken was one of them, although it lasts about 2 years, but not quite as the height it should have been, I think. Marvel Infinite, we're already seeing what's going on there. Hopefully things change and we get an update and we finally get Gil and whatnot. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, that game's being attacked really badly. Damon Bride never seen to begin with because never came stateside. NBA Playgrounds dead on arrival. That seems just like not very productive at all. Like I was the mod in the Discord, and I kind of like helped patch the game too. Like I made a suggestion about rebounding that they actually add in the game afterwards back in July, and almost exactly how I suggested to fix it. But it didn't really help much because most of the people that's seen don't have a good mentality to really improve, and just direct too many salty people. Or W All-Stars died really quick as well. Though to be fair, when THQ died, the servers went kaput, so you can't even play online if you wanted to now, unless you're willing to rig something up with the Wii version on Dolphin. But that version is not the true version. The PS3 Series version are the complete versions, because the other ports are missing moves that completely change the complexion of the characters you're playing as. So that dried up. Neo Geo Battle Coliseum dried up really fast. People would rather play King of Fighters 11. So I just feel like I'm getting out of touch, and that combined with all the other drama with people attacking Marvel Infinite so much and talking about Dragon Ball so much. I mean, the game's cool and all, it's just not my thing, but the fact that no one seems to respect that that some people might like Infinite just because it's a good game, not so much of being a shill or whatnot. It got to a point where L.I. Joe posted this. Media images. Screenshots. He posted this. Trying to find it, make it like not as intrusive, but anyway. He said here that everyone's like just attacking each other. It's like really unprofessional. It makes me sad, and we're not in the dark age anymore. We can't afford to make this happen. There are too many good games out for us to act this way, and I agree entirely. Like I said, I don't like Dragon Ball much. Like competitive level, it's not really doesn't really hold my interest much. But I do know it's fun and people play it, and I respect that. It takes work to be good at any game. But when people are attacking each other over it, I just say it's. I have a sour opinion of scenes that do that, and unfortunately, a lot of them are anime scenes, and a lot of them can't appreciate the irony of their games not being popular due to whatever reason. So rather than be empathetic to the Marvel players who went in, they just rather be vindictive about it, and that's no good. So, yeah, the fact that it's just so prevalent now, that makes me sad, and it makes me feel like maybe it's time to step down a bit. I'm going to be at EVO, obviously. I owe it to Hazama to defend my title, especially now that he's doing work like he is here, holding it down for EVO Japan the way he did. And I owe it to him to defend my title so we can see who's the best in the world, being he has his crown and I have mine. But, and also Bruce and Home are supposed to be there too. I'd like to see how they do against him, being things have changed a bit. But after that, we'll see where things go. It's just any game I want to go like ham on, like for real. And I'll play Street Fighter 5. 5's fun, but I want to play Infinite as well, and now I can't really do that unless I look hard enough. So I'll have to like find the side tournament for it. But I would have liked to have seen Marvel Infinite on the main stage. That game holds my interest more than any like main game right now in terms of like watching it and playing it. 5 is fun to watch as well, but I think Infinite is like a little more fun to watch. Dragon Ball, like, it doesn't like strike me as interesting as Infinite does. I guess why I didn't really like Marvel 3 too much, because like there's a lot of carryover in terms of like characters and assists. Whereas Infinite's a lot of variety right now. The worst characters right now are, I think, Ryu, Black Panther. But lately, Black Panther's been doing a bit better for those who still play. Ryu still gotta find as his devoted player, but hopefully we'll have one soon. Anyway, so yeah, I also like the stones, because they're basically CVS2 grooves in a Marvel setting, and I like that. I like the customization bit, just like I like it in this game. I like the gems, at least the default ones, and how they give you like a little bit extra facet and make your character play a bit differently than they would otherwise. In a way it's not completely intrusive. But people seem to hate customization, like, a lot. They complain about pay to win, or one of the most common complaints about Infinite, I remember when the first game came out, was the game was clearly inspired by Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and that was used as a weakness. Like, this is why this game such inspired by that. There was no context why this is bad. They just said, if I'm saying this, you know it's bad. Idiots. Anyway, unfortunately, that's a very common mentality, and even today, Cross Tekken's like really lies reputation. You'd think after all this time and all the years of the past, people would be warmed to Cross Tekken again, and we'd see more people entering and playing, but we don't. They'll say they miss it and don't do anything about it. And it's not hard to find now. It's always on sale on PC, and you can find people in a Discord. Heck, if you can keep playing, and you download the patches needed, and also the community patches are on the Steam page, so you know how to play properly, then it won't be a problem. But people just want to complain rather than actually do something about it. And that's just the way things are now in the FGC, apparently. If you complain loud enough, it must be true. You just gotta follow what social media tells you to do, and what's good and bad. And if you're wrong, if you're not following that, you must not be a good person, or a good player or whatnot. You must be a shill. Remember, people were saying, talking about Infinite, what this game has, and the people just go, what's your agenda, or you're a shill or whatnot, and that still goes on today. Like, couldn't possibly like Infinite just as a game, just because it's fun or whatnot. It's ridiculous that 6 years later, after Cross Tekken comes out, people are still like that. It's so dumb, and I'm sad it's where things are going, and that's why I'm kind of upset at the FGC, because I feel like I'm just being left behind in the wrong kind of way. I mean, I could play Dragon Ball, I could adapt, but I don't want to play that right now. I want to play Infinite, I want to play Cross Tekken or whatnot. Unfortunately, any game I want to go ham on seems to die immediately. I feel like a dinosaur. And I'm thankful that you guys who are from the Discord who are watching right now, or the guys who follow me on YouTube, so thank you very much, are cool enough to appreciate the work I put in this game and still watch, knowing the game's fun to watch. But the Marvel Infinite Discord is just a mess, and I've said that earlier in the stream. And I think it's unfortunate that guys can't even stick with their own game in their own Discord. They're talking about other stuff, and just bash the game you're supposed to be talking about in its devoted Discord. And the mod just sits there and lets that happen and actually approves it. So that's very unfortunate that the Infinite community, or at least those in that particular Discord, are acting that way. I get all my Infinite stuff, really, from a different Discord called Jaco Man. So there's my support there. He's also on YouTube as well. Look up Jaco Man. Jako Man. I also going to put a link on the YouTube comments later. And check out his stuff, because he's not affected by negativity. He's still playing. He plays Dragon Ball as well, and Marvel 3. But his Infinite stuff is typically really good. Kevin Ha is also a really productive Marvel Infinite streamer right now. Today, Kinder Party, it was there's something called online battles right now. It's being commentated by Yipes at the moment. It should be about 2 hours in right now. It just started on the same time I started this. I'm gonna watch that as soon as the video's done. He's got that, but it's pretty sad that the game's own Discord, Marvel Infinite Discord, all the character tech and stuff, and the theory talk is like not that productive. It comes like actual discussion outside of specific character stuff. So it's sad that people. And I remember when the Wiz announcement happened, like 20 people came in, just laughed at people playing. It's like, why do you guys come here and sign up to this Discord and act that way? Don't be a doofus. And I was sad that the mod just allowed it to happen. And when I called him out on it, he just said I'm a pretentious fuck. So that's where I know where I stand. So it's sad the community has to act that way when they gotta hold the fort down. I mean, why are you playing the game? It's not fun or whatnot. If you're looking for the money, you're probably not that good to begin with, because it's going to be very rare if you actually sniff that money at the eSports level, if you're going to act that way. So anyway, that's how I feel right now. I mean, people are entitled to play what they want, like I said. But don't be telling people play what you want, and then the next minute attack a scene. And like I said, I don't like BlazBlue Cross Tag at all. I think that game is straight up Arxis Fighting Jam. And I'm hoping that people realize that for all the stuff they complain about Cross Tekken about, that's this new BlazBlue game times 100. But I do know people are going to play it anyway, and I know it takes effort to be good at it, and I respect that, so more power to them. But don't be a hypocrite about it. If you're going to play and not play, so just be honest about it. Don't make up excuses or stories. Oh, the hiccup there. Ooh, good backdash. Good backdash. Yeah, some characters' backdash to the corner are actually, like, really good. For example, Homeless Dragon's backdash of Ibiki in the corner is really scary. Really scary. Let's see how much time we got on this. Just a moment. Okay, we have about 10 minutes left. By the way, this is not the only stuff from EVO Japan I gotta go over. Hazama said you have clearance to like talk about anything you want. So I'm gonna have a lot more of these things. We'll talk more about it. Piece of the round robin. I guess I'll use this Japanese footage. I guess also like a background to what we're talking about with mentality and things like that with esports and whatnot. But yes, do not be a hypocrite. I mean, tell people play what you want, and then laugh when the game's not esports or whatnot. Because basically, what Wiz did is he just slapped in the face like all people who were actually playing Marvel seriously, saying no one played. And then Markman, who was sitting next to him that whole time, had to go on Twitter and fact-check him saying Capcom wants to continue supporting the game, and then he knows players still play it, but it's a third party. And Wiz just flat out lied why it wasn't there. So I find that really sad. And because Wiz is at this point, he's not just a TO, he's a professional now. He's like an esports guy. He is the most prominent organizer of all of esports. So for him to say that and throw shade like that, rather than be professional, just say what the real reason why was. I mean, if he said straight up, we couldn't come to terms with licensure, so it's going to be a side tournament this year. It couldn't be on the main stage. It was just, people would be disappointed, or they'd be angry at whoever, but at least you'd understand, okay, this is why it happened. You don't have to, like, throw shade or just make it an excuse why something didn't happen and just attack the entire scene as a result. When I was at EVO last summer, this was Thursday, I think. This was that Punko picture I showed you. It was that exact location, but only the day before. I was told to move my setup because Combo Fiend had to have an interview with Marvel.com representatives. Because they had to use that space to have like an interview, talk about Infinite, what they're planning to do, and things like that. And while I was there, I got to talk to some of the Marvel guy. I told him, hey, it's cool that you guys are bringing things back 2-on-2. I remember X Street Fighter, seeing as a kid, it reminded me of that. Good stuff, and blah, blah, blah. Just being polite, and they sound decent enough. But I had heard over the course of the weekend, through sources that were pretty privy to FGC, especially privy to Dragon Ball stuff right now, that apparently there was a big falling out between Mr. Wiz and Marvel, or rather Disney, during that weekend. I'm going to assume it's about the licensure rights I talked about earlier. Because the Marvel today is very like the Marvel around like Marvel 3 time and Marvel 2 time. Marvel 1, Marvel 2, Marvel was a big name. It wasn't like a huge name it is today. MCU just like completely morphed the name value of a lot of these characters. And Marvel 3 was announced around the time Disney had just bought Marvel. So there was a bit rules were a bit less strict back then, but now obviously, as you know, the mandate where Marvel and Disney didn't want to play nice with Fox, who had all the X-Men rights, so no X-Men were allowed. And now I see people trying to blame on Capcom, saying Capcom had the choice to choose not to make it, which is ridiculous. I mean, the main program, Marvel Infinite, the same guy who made Chun-Li Adam, if he wanted to, he would definitely added X-Men if he had the choice in the matter. Same with Capcom, because in the last game, Wolverine was like front and center of Marvel 3's intro. Oh, wow. That's a bold Pandora being, it barely does any damage and eats a lot of time. So good stuff, Hazama. But yeah, I mean, don't make up excuses of why things aren't happening. And, because all that does is just, like, makes things more dramatic. Maybe he just wants the whole thing burned. But I figured this was going to happen when the game was still getting great numbers, all things considered. And still, Wizard said, should I, drop the game back in, like, November, or I've seen the sales numbers, they're not good. He was already saying, it's not like he made his mind a long time ago, even early on. Which is ridiculous. because Marvel at EVO would still draw a good amount of people, probably 1,000 or around that time, even Marvel Infinite. But the fact that he had to like just make that up is very disheartening. So I don't know what happened between him and Disney that weekend, if it did happen. Because also, you can say, oh, Disney is angry at Capcom, but after Combo Fiend left Capcom, he joined Marvel Games as an official employee. Right now, Peter works for Marvel directly. At least last I saw about 2 weeks ago, because he was part of the Marvel Games staff that saw the Black Panther premiere. And they showed Peter, like, clear as a bell, Combo Fiend, standing there with everyone else. This picture was like the start of February, which again let talk saying, okay, maybe they're using Combo Fiend as a halfway point, which is common. Like in WWE, after Funaki left WWE, he became like an unofficial ambassador to Japan, just because he had a good relationship with everyone there. So they just like kept him on as just a goodwill sort of thing. Same deal with I think Taka Michinoku has that kind of contact sometimes, or that liaison. But yeah, so that happened, and then the announcement happened. Now people are pointing fingers and whatnot. But I think it's disappointing that Dakota is taking the bait, and those who are attacking aren't like self-aware enough to realize, hey, you realize the irony of all this crap? Being like no one really popped off about BlazBlue like they did Marvel before all this. Saying an Ixert was a big problem in Japan. I mean, it had huge numbers even in Japan, but it wasn't like a big name like Marvel was. So they're throwing dirt now, and all the Dragon Ball people are throwing dirt now. So it's unfortunate people want to feel that way. Which is again why I feel like eSports isn't going to be as big as it should be, because when all the big difference maker sponsors see this mentality being thrown around, they'll just throw the whole community under the bus and say, you must all be like this, and then we miss out on opportunities. I should be winding down soon. I think this might be the last match. Let me check the source real quick. This is this is for sure the last match. So everyone, thank you guys for watching and listening to me talk about this sort of thing. Next time I'll upload EVO Japan, I'll probably commentate a bit more traditionally. These are just casuals. I don't really know who's who right now. But I can pretty much tell that Hazama just got bopped. So good stuff to the mysterious Xiaolu Lily player. I was really impressed. So keep the good work, Xiaolu Lily. And I guess I'll see you guys next time.